What's good, everyone? I am so excited to share a project that I'm working for, a project that I'm basically investigating for quite a while now. And it's actually up to a point, it's still rough on the edges, but it's up to a point where I can give you a live demo. And the project is called Raptor, and it's built on top of my Hollywood actor model framework. And it basically is a way to deploy any application in the cloud on the edge, right? So it's basically an AWS Lambda, a better version of AWS Lambda, maybe even a better version than Cloudflare Workers, Fly.io, and all these other function as a service platforms. And I'm going to show you why. It's basically built with WASM technology, right? So I'm running basically a VM. I'm running WASM, a WASM virtual machine, and it's capable of distributing. So Raptor, built on top of Hollywood, is able to distribute these VMs in a cluster, right? So we can scale this to infinity. So basically how it works is fairly simple. So it currently supports Golang and JavaScript as the languages. Of course, more languages will be added in the future. So let me open up some example. Yes, so I have this simple JavaScript stuff, which basically is going to respond with an H1 from my Raptor application, right? So I'm going to deploy that. So the first thing we need to do is create an endpoint. So we're going to do that with the CLI. So I'm going to say /bin Raptor, and I'm going to say endpoint. And this endpoint is going to have a name, and I'm going to call this my GS application, right? And the runtime is going to be JavaScript, right? So you need to provide a runtime. So I'm going to press enter, and it's going to respond to us with an endpoint ID, right? So I'm going to copy this endpoint, and I'm going to show you what's going to happen if we visit that. So it's going to be a local host live, and I'm going to paste that in, press enter. So you're going to see that it's telling us endpoint does not have any published deploys, because you're going to just have created an endpoint. You can set environment variables for your endpoint and all that stuff, right? So the next thing we're going to do is actually create a deploy. So we're going to say bin Raptor. I'm going to say deploy, and I'm going to specify for which endpoint I want to deploy this, and it's going to be this endpoint. Did I copy this? I think so. Boom, boom. And then I'm going to say file. So I'm going to point it to a file. For JavaScript, you only need to specify your ES bundled index specifically. For Golang, you need to specify a WASM, right? Golang, you need to compile Golang to WASM, but JavaScript, you just can give your GS file. Why? Because what I'm doing is I have a SpiderMonkey build, which is basically Firefox JavaScript runtime. For example, I think Chrome uses V8 and Firefox uses SpiderMonkey, right? So what I did is basically I compiled SpiderMonkey to WASM, and what it's going to do is it's going to spin up a runtime, a WASM virtual machine, with that compiled SpiderMonkey WASM blob, and it's going to interpret your code, right? All in one batch, isolated each request, right? So I'm going to specify examples yes index.js. I'm going to press enter. So it's going to give us a deploy ID here. So if I go to my live, you see that it's still nothing is still there because we didn't publish it yet. We only have a preview link, which is the same concept that Versal has. If you click that, you're going to see that we get a response here from my Raptor application, which is a preview version that you can share across your colleagues or whatever, or clients, and they can just view a preview version of your application, right? So if I'm going to deploy that to live, I need to do /bin Raptor. I'm going to publish this. I'm going to say that the deploy ID is going to be this deploy ID, right? I'm going to press, I think I can just do this, yeah. And now, if I go to my live version, it's going to have this live, right? Of course, these URLs are a little bit weird, but if you want to build on top of this, which what I'm going to do, right? So I'm going to build a cloud-hosted version, region-based, so it's going to basically serve your applications you deploy to Raptor or whatever name it's going to be, the hosted version. it's going to serve that on the edge, right? And it's all possible with Hollywood. And I will make a follow-up video where I'm gonna explain how this is going to get scaled, right? That's for the next video. So now it's live, right? So that's cool. But let's say we want to do some changes, right? So for example, I'm gonna say here BR, and I'm gonna say some other stuff here, right? I'm gonna slash BR here, boom, boom. And now I'm gonna deploy this. So I'm gonna go back to deploy the same file, press enter. So it's going to have a new deployment created. So if I go to my live here and I'm refreshing, it's still gonna be the live version. But if I open up this preview link, I'm gonna have some other stuff here, right? So that's cool. And if I open up my other preview link, it's gonna stay the same, right? You see? So you're gonna have versions you can basically, preview versions you can share, right? So now we're gonna basically deploy that to live. How do we do that? We're gonna publish this and we're gonna give this basically a new ID. Boom, boom, press enter. And if I refresh that, now it's live, right? You made a mistake, that's no problem. What you can do is you can basically copy the previous version and deploy that, roll back your application in a blink of an eye. So we're gonna publish this, press that, refresh, and it's have the previous version. Simple, right? Cool. So let me basically publish back this one, boom. And we have the new version live again. So it's super fast, it's super easy. I don't think something is capable in an existence that can do this so fast. Correct me if I'm wrong. Of course, it's still in development, still rough on the edges. I'm going to add more features on top. So hey, we can also do Golang, right? So let me open up applications Go, right? So I have this beautiful Chi application where I have a handle login, I have a handle dashboard. We're going to create a new mux, and then we're going to just say run, this should actually be Raptor because I changed names. So I'm going to say Raptor, and I'm going to call this Raptor, boom, which is the SDK, and you're just going to say handle, pass in your router, and call it a day, right? So I'm going to compile this example, go example here. I'm going to create a new endpoint, right, for our Golang. Actually, to be honest, let me clear the screen real quick, like that, clear. Dot bin Raptor endpoint. Endpoints, name, Golang app, runtime is going to be Go, press enter. This is going to be the live URL. So I'm going to paste that in, boom. And what is this? Did I make a mistake? I probably did. Okay, cool. So endpoint does not have any deployments. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a deployment here. Raptor deploy endpoint. Let's copy this thing here, paste that in. File is going to be Go examples Go app WASM. Press enter. Open up the preview link. Of course, it's going to say page not found because we have routing. So we're going to say login, press enter, hello from the logging handler. And we also have dashboards, press enter, hello from the dashboard handler, right? Pretty cool. So let's publish this to live. Do we have a publish thing? Yeah, that's here. So I'm gonna do this, copy this deployment ID, paste that in, and then I go to my live here, refresh, and then now it's live and we can do login, boom. You see, and it's from the logging handler, and we can deploy new stuff and all that things just like JavaScript. That's basically it. The stuff is, this is all open source. So it's basically here in the Raptor, and yeah, I will put the links down in the description. It's still rough on the edges. There is still, the documentation is not up to date and all that stuff, but I just want to already share this to you, right? And it's built on top of Hollywood, which is production ready. Check that out as well. So I'm very curious to hear your opinions about this. Are you going to use something like that? If it's in the cloud, I'm going to make a hosted version with a beautiful UI and all that stuff, so you can, with metrics and logs for your application, the developer experience will be top notch. That's actually the goal. yeah, I'm also building this kind of live on my Patreon page. So if you want to see some more internals on how this is getting built, go to my Patreon page, link in the description. And for the people that want to level up, there is also the full-time GoDev course I made if you really want to get to the details of Golang, right? So let me know what you think about this. Join the Discord community, all links in the description. Thanks for watching, and I will follow up with a video with how this is gonna get scaled in the cluster, right? See you in the next one.